Welcome back, guys and gals. Guys and gals, welcome back. Thank you for continuing watching. I want to say a quick hello to Saying Deep. Saying Deep, how you doing, my friend? Great to see you. Thank you for your comment on the first video. You're awesome. Hope life is treating you well. Let's go. All right, let's continue with what we are doing. We are doing, well, basically setting up your first WPF project. Okay, good. We're golden here. All right, making sure that we're set up. All right, same program, no changes. Haven't done anything to it. We're going to continue on. We are working with a WPF application, and this one here, I'm going to do hopefully more videos on setup for WPF. Now you can, this one here, we're working with the .NET 4.8.1 framework, which is fine. For the most part, you can, if you choose, you can create a WPF project that is the .NET 8.0, okay, framework. But hopefully I'll do a video for that soon for you guys, okay, setting that up. A lot of it's all the same. A lot of repetition, to be honest, makes you better. Okay, so, and as we progress in this program that I'm creating, I'm hoping that I get a certain error. Yes. There is, it's kind of a background software program error. It's not really, a user issue. But I got a quick fix for you guys. Well, it's kind of like a band-aid fix, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, everything's kind of golden here. Golden like Freddy. Program's working fine. We don't have anything going on yet, but we're going to get into it. The first thing we did was we kind of created our first resource dictionary, which pretty much has, anything you need for colors when you're transitioning, for, basically creating your program and working with your UI, which is a user interface. These hex codes, color codes could be used for properties, windows, and it goes on, grid, buttons, checkboxes, they all have kind of their own color codes, color scheme going on. I do have this up on GitHub. There is a link on my main page, kind of a link for, all the socials and such. The GitHub link is there. It's easy for you guys to find, but I'll try to make sure there's a link for you guys in the video. Okay, so this is what we did. We created our first resource dictionary, and then we had to go to our app.xaml, okay, to access that. You basically just double click this through your Solution Explorer, okay. This is key. You got to get this in, right, because it's kind of like letting the program know, hey, this is where I want you to look, okay, when you need to access this information, okay. So you look at the path in your Solution Explorer. We started off we created these folders, okay? And I called it control templates. You could call it whatever you like. You could call it control standards. You could call it control styles, whichever you want to call this folder. It's up to you. You could even name your resource dictionary however you want. And we are going to do more. I'm going to do a few more. I'm not going to get too crazy, but I'm going to give you guys kind of, a little bit of repetition to see kind of how it's done. And, that way, the more you do this, the more repetition you do, it gets easier. And then in memory, you won't even have to reflect on notes or anything like that. It just kind of happens. Okay, so then you have to actually do this. We had to actually type these lines of code here, okay, right here. All right, resource dictionary. resource dictionary dot merge dictionaries. It's kind of like working with objects and methods, okay, in a sense. But this is our XAML library, if you will, okay, and you have to give it the path, okay. So don't forget that. So that's kind of the start of that. So now that you have your colors in, okay, here's our design. Okay, this is kind of where you create your UI, your GUI, or your user interface. All right, if you worked with WinForms, I still love WinForms. It's fun. It's a lot, you know, more user friendly. You don't have XAML to deal with. Really, WinForms is a good starting foundation. Maybe I'll do a video on WinForms. I've just been so busy, guys. Thank you for understanding. You know, doing a lot of different projects, and I honest to God, I work 10, 12-hour days easy, sometimes 14, just grinding out code and learning different methods of creating code and interfaces, if you will. Okay, so lots going on. Thank you for being here. Supporters too, you guys are all awesome. Thank you for being troopers and sticking it out. And hello, Sandeep. Okay, so here's your user interface. We haven't done, there's nothing on it yet. Everything you do that you create in here, we're not using the toolbox. Okay, when you're working with WPF or UWP, these acronyms, you know. UWP is Universal Windows Platform. It's just another method or way of doing the same thing, really. Except the UWP works a lot more. It kind of goes from, like, a lot of this stuff that we're working with here with WPF, this is strictly Windows, okay? Whether it be on your laptop or your PC or whatever, you can use this application, okay? When you're done and completed it and released it and done whatever you want. You could even upload any projects or apps that you create onto the Windows Store, all right? And make some of that Robert De Niro, you know? Who doesn't love that Robert De Niro? De Niro is the key word, okay? I get off track and I go on and on and on, but I need to stay focused. So don't use this, okay? Don't use this, okay? We're not working with WinForms. With WinForms, you can drag and drop stuff, okay? Now, the reason is your XAML code kind of gets all glitchy and a lot of weird things happen. And then if you try to read your XAML code, you're just better off typing the code yourself, and you'll have a better understanding. Again, really, it does look like a lot, but it's not really. You just got to realize there's an opening and a closing. Okay, this grid here is an opening and a closing. Okay, same thing with this window. This is our main. Okay, don't mess with this. Don't mess with this, because the program will kind of yell at you. Okay. Notice the syntax, all right? Stick with the format. Stick with the way the syntax is created, okay? You can even create a simple grid just like that. Whoops, if I could actually type grid. But there you go, right? And that's kind of closing a single. You could have a single line as well, okay? That's a syntax. But we'll do more of that. Normally you don't do it like that, but I just wanted to show you quick example. Okay, just make sure we're all saved here and buttoned up. Okay, so what we're gonna do first, now that we got our color styles in, let's change here. Okay, we can change the title and stuff. You know, honestly, I'm gonna just run it so you guys can kind of see, right? So boom, there we go. We got a little window. It's 450 pixels tall and 800 pixels wide, okay? But we could change this, okay? We could rename the window. We could change it to, I don't know, we're just gonna call it infraction app, okay? Why not? All right, doesn't hurt. Now, you don't really have to build after doing something like that. If you just run it, it should update, and it does. Okay, boom. All right, so the XAML code is really creating the design for your GUI or your user interface. Okay, code behind, you hear the word code behind, just think C sharp. Okay, that's your C sharp code. Okay, it's the code behind. And we will hopefully do some of that today. Okay, back to here. So what I do is I usually, you can work like this, or you can use this. You could have a vertical split, or you could have a horizontal. I'm right here. Okay, you can have a horizontal split. It's up to you how you want it. You lay it out how you want. I don't mind going between these two tabs. I'm okay with that. You can zoom in and out. Hold your control button down and and scroll your mouse scroll button. Okay, you can go. So I let go of control. I could go up and down. I could kind of zoom into little areas. Okay, and if you want to get it back to the way it was, well, you just click this down arrow and just go fit all. Okay, you could even, if you have, like, let's say a button or something up here, you could hit fit selection. Okay, or you could even select one of these. Okay, it all works the same. It's kind of like a quick zoom, really. That's all it is. This is your properties window. You can change and modify stuff in your properties window. Let's say I had a button. You can change and adjust. That's fine here. You're okay to do that. Changing values and such in your properties window. It's okay to do that. I just recommend you don't, like, again, I iterate. This isn't Windows Forms. We're working with XAML code. Okay? Again, Windows Forms, WinForms doesn't have XAML. Okay? It just has code behind. Okay? WinForms is all drag and drop. And it's, again, it's very user friendly. And if you want to learn how to create user interfaces, well, start with WinForms. And hopefully maybe I'll do a series for you guys on that. But in all honesty, there's an oversaturation of YouTube channels kind of doing it anyways. So I hope you find the right one to kind of learn from. And I'll give you guys a couple of recommendations as well. Okay, let's carry on. Okay. So we're gonna do some changing here. Okay, we're gonna add some code. Okay, now I have to bring up my document. I actually have. See if I can find it quickly here. I got so much information I want to share with you guys. It's just a matter of finding it. I'm kind of organized. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's something you could kind of start with, right? Again, I use Notepad to kind of back up anything that I have. Okay, so you obviously have, you've heard of resolution, you've heard of, 4K, you've heard of 1080p, you've heard all of that, right? You have your aspect ratios and that. Well, you can have a window size, right? I'm not sure what this window size is for Notepad, but it's probably somewhere around, I don't know, 1280 by something. I'm just guessing. Okay, so you could change, right? And I got this little list. Like, we're not going to be going into 4K here, right? we're just these are kind of just give you an idea what your width and height should be for your display resolution. You can use the same thing for your window size. Okay, guys. So with that said, now I'm just trying to recall which one I used last time. I think it was 1280. So I want a width of 1280. Okay, you can change these values. All right. And because the last project I'm working on, I just can't recall which. I was using 1280 by 720, I think. Let's just go with that for now. Okay. All right. I'm just going to build it because why not? made a change to just update kind of the information in the background. All right, there we go. We just changed the size of our window.
Milk chocolate beyond
What
words.
is up?
Swiss Classic by Lindt.
All right. Okay, they might have commercials. That's okay. I got nature music on in the background because, in all honesty, I'm tired of music copyright trolls. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna have some coffee. How you guys doing today? Hope you're having an awesome day. All right, so now we could actually, and then there's a couple of other things I could do. So I could type topmost equals false. Windows state, everything comes up for you, and then we'll just go normal. Okay, build that. I guess I could Google some information there on what those are. What is it? Whoops, I need to do that. I don't know what just happened there. Okay, Windows state. What is Windows state? And what is topmost? Okay. Topmost, just to give you guys an idea. Topmost mean WPF, okay? Meaning. Okay. A window whose topmost property is set to true appears above all windows whose topmost properties are set to false. So only one window could be set to true. We have this as false in case you have other windows, because you actually can have more pop-up windows. Okay, we can't. Whoops. We can have more than one of these guys, gals, and then if you stick around, follow the series, I'll definitely do that for you. We'll create some other windows, and then I'll show you how to do the code behind for that. Okay, so if you have other windows, you don't want this one to be topmost. Obviously, if you click, let's say, new button to access another window, well, you want that to be in front, right? That makes sense? So this one is going to be the back one. That's why it's false. Okay, so what is the other one? Window state. Okay, window. I didn't really research this beforehand, so window state meaning, okay, window state enum, window state property. Let's see, you can pretty much, let's see, I know I'm on Microsoft's website here. Gets or sets a value that indicates whether a window is restored, minimized, or maximized. Okay, so that's actually code behind that they're showing there. But what is Windows state? The current visual state of a window in the Windows system. There we go. There's a generic definition. Okay. Back to this. So we can add some more. Now we can do a background. Okay. So I'm just going to go like this. It's okay to tab. Remember, if you notice here, there's a closing angle bracket. Okay. There's the opening and there's the closing. Okay. If I don't have it, the program's going to immediately argue with me, right? See, it's giving me some arguments here, or some warnings. Hey, you're missing something. Okay, so I'm just going to hit Control-Z and they'll go away. Okay, so let's do a background. Okay, we want a background for our window. So now I haven't done any static or dynamic binding. I know I haven't talked about it, but don't worry about it, guys. We're just gonna bind. We're not really binding, but we're gonna create a dynamic resource. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I want to access the color here, an attribute. Okay, so I'm gonna call this client area window color. Okay, so now we're making use of our resource dictionary from our color styles. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. So it's at the bottom, client area window color. So I could actually highlight that. I could copy it and then go back to my XAML code and then just, well, we could actually type a little bit more information here. Resource key equals, and then windows, there we go. Okay, boom. Okay, make sure your syntax is correct. It gives you a little color image, tells you kind of what color it is, and there we go. That's how you utilize, if I could talk today, your color styles. Okay, again, it would argue, the program would argue if you didn't have this right here. Okay, this is the link. All right, so I'm gonna build it again. We're just kind of doing basic stuff. We're gonna like take it slow here, step by step, and do little things here and there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we sized our window and we changed the background color. Now you can also have transparent. You could even just type white in here if you wanted. Okay, you can see there's a list of colors. Okay, now if I didn't type anything, like there's a list of background colors. Okay, system colors, that's what these all are. Okay, whoops. Control Z to undo, Control Shift Z or Z, however you want to call it. Tomatoes, tomatoes, potatoes, potatoes, to redo. Okay, Control Shift Z, redo. Okay, if you make any errors. All right, let's carry on with some code here. We could also, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add some Windows resources. Okay. All right, so essentially we could have had all of this in our main here. Okay, so I'm just going to go like this, and I'm going to show you something else. You can actually have notes. Okay. Okay, you can have little notes. Now to create notes or comments, okay, angle bracket, exclamation point, tab, and then there you go. And then these are for your comments, okay? It kind of helps to organize stuff a little bit, all right? And this is kind of the proper syntax. So if you go angle bracket, opening, I guess, and you can see it right there in the list right here. You can see it. All I have to do is hit tab. This is, you can have end regions and such as well. Usually I use these when you're working with your classes. Okay, and it immediately closes it for you. Okay, little notes. So here we go, window resources. Okay, window, tab, accessing, we're using the dot separator, I forget the name of it, terminology. The dot operator to access, basically a method in the sense. So, except it doesn't look like a method, but there we go. There we go. We just created our Windows resources. Okay. What are window resources? Well, I kind of have some set up already here. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, and you might have to type this up, is you're going to need this line. Okay, so I usually put it underneath this namespace right here. Okay, our namespace is the name of our program. Okay, so there's the code. I'm going to go like that so you can see it. I actually physically typed that, but we're going to need this for our window resources. Okay, and since I put that in, I'm just going to do a quick build, because why not? It's kind of refreshing everything in the sense. Okay, and then we need this line here as well. Okay, and that goes inside your Windows resources. Okay, just to save, because I'm not really super fast at explaining things, and to speed things up, I'm going to save on some typing here, which obviously takes time. Okay, I've already typed this all up, So, and again, I keep everything kind of saved in Notepad so I could utilize it in different programs quickly. Okay, so all we did here is we're creating window resources. It's the same thing as this. I could have taken all of this.
Lucidchart makes intelligent diagramming easy and helps your best ideas become real.
Okay. Commercials, please, no. All right, what are we doing for time here? I got to speed things up. Okay. I could have actually brought all of this and put it in here, inside window resources. Okay. Now, with that said, that kind of gets crazy. That's why we actually create our resource dictionary, so that you don't have all of that, because I could have these color styles, like I said, inside my window resources. I could, right? But again, everything we do with our design here happens underneath our window resources. Okay, so this is where all the magic happens. Okay, anything that we put like buttons and whatever, that's part of our UI, happens underneath our window resources. Okay, so to keep that short, like, so you can imagine if I had all those colors in here, well, everything's underneath, right? So then I would have to scroll down 500 lines just to work with my design or XAML code, right? So create your resource dictionary, and then it's out of the way, link it up, and you know, you make less work. Now here, or less lines of code that's kind of in your way, if you will. I could do some other ones. I have some other ones set up. Canvas, you know, they're just pretty basic. So, I mean, again, I could have typed up this code to show you guys. Really, just follow the syntax. Here we go. When you type style, target is border, and where X key is kind of like what you use in your grid or your stack panel. We're going to get into talking about that. Okay, that's kind of the key. I don't know how to explain it, but it's the link. It's without it, you know, the program would just use it, but with having a key, you're explicitly telling the program which one you want it to use. Okay, so which would be used down here, and if you stick around and watch, I will honestly type up how to use these X keys. Okay, one thing at a time here. Let me open up. Let's see. I want to open up. I kind of have a backup of my other one here. I'm working on a project right now, and hopefully I share it with you guys sometime. But right now it's top secret. You can't know my. Yeah. It's just jokes. One day. Okay. Standard styles. Where is that? Where's my backup? I need my backup. That's what I need. Backup code. I'm just trying to remember which one okay, text box styles. Okay, here we go. I have one for text box styles. I've typed this all up. There's a lot of, these are kind of all properties, okay, of the text box, right? You can set margins, snap to device pixels. You could set up your background. You can set up your border brush. Okay, I could honestly type all this up for you guys, but again, I've already typed it all up once, so just bang, paste it for you guys, and it'll speed things up here. Okay, so we're creating our window resources. We're just going to do a few here, even though maybe we may or may not use them, but they're there. Okay, again, I could take this, and I could create a new resource dictionary. You know, I could add resource dictionary, WPF. I could, and I will for at least one or two more for you guys. But this is short code. There's really not a lot there, so it's not taking up many lines in my program, so I'm just going to leave it, okay? Canvas is real short. There's some properties, right? Every object, if you will, or element, you know, border, canvas, text box, they all have properties, right? Now, the reason for this, right, and maybe this isn't normal
To
practice.
see community play like friends and brothers. It is a fantastic feeling.
Maybe it's not best practice to do it this way, but you would have to, like when you're typing, let's say you create a text box, okay? Let's say I create a text box. Is it block? Block, sure, why not? Okay, let's say I create one. Okay, so what's happening here, what's going to happen here is I have to actually be explicit, okay? I might as well show you. Okay, this is how you have to be explicit. Just see here, where do we got? Just looking for it here. There we go. Okay, so right in here. Okay, to be explicit, this is what you type. It's style. So many different things to kind of remember. There's different ways of typing out this code. So what we're going to do here is we're creating a static resource. Okay, and this is how you link it up. All right. So the key here for the key. Okay, for a text box. Alright, so we're going to type is resource key. It automatically comes up. The program knows what you want to do. And then we just need this. Okay? We use the key here. There. Now that should go away as long as I typed it up properly. Text block. Text block. Oh, it's because I'm not using text. I type text box. Block, not box. There. And I can't type box either. Okay. Why are you doing that to me? Box. There. Use the proper one, right? The target type is text box. I'm just trying to recall because I actually created a resource for one of them. Is this my second one? Yeah. I created a resource for my text block. That's what I did. Okay, and I left this one here. Okay, so that's how you access it with the key. You type text box, then style, and we can put all these parameters or properties in here, guys. So because this is here in our window resources, if you don't explicitly make any changes, let's say I wanted to change the margin. Okay, let's say I wanted to margin. Okay. Alright, I could change the margin. Let's say I wanted a left side of 0 pixels and a top of 0 pixels and a right side of 0 pixels. And let's say I wanted the bottom to be 30 pixels for a margin. Okay, so now you're explicitly telling the program that you want this text box to have this margin. So it's not going to use the properties from this margin or from this here, right? So this kind of overrides it, if you will. But it will utilize the rest of it. If you're not being explicit down here, the program will use whatever you kind of explicitly tell it to do or to use. Okay? And that's kind of how you do that. Alright, so we're just going to leave that. Let's get into more coding. Let's see. I'm focused on time here. You know, time flies, man, quickly. I'm going to do another video. I'm going to end that here. Hopefully that wasn't a lot too much information for you guys. I'll let you absorb it, take it in, and yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. And then we're going to continue on in the next video. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you, supporters, for not being a quitter. You guys are all awesome. Love beautiful, intelligent people that love to learn. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. See you soon.
I don't